Hey, 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 Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Pain Killerz Challenge, day 14. So, how did it go yesterday? Did you write down your medications? Did you write down your supplements? Did you write down what you do to what you're actually doing? And then, by writing it down, did you notice any patterns? Did you notice that if you take your pain medication a half an hour past the time that you're required, you should take it according to the prescription, that you get behind your pain? And if you get behind your pain, it's really hard and difficult, if not impossible, to catch up. Did you notice things like that? I noticed and learned, for example, that if I drink a beverage called bulletproof coffee, and all it is coffee with really refined mineral coconut oil in it. If I drink that by about 10 o'clock in the morning, it makes my joints feel a lot better. But if I hadn't written down and if I hadn't kept track of when I was drinking that, I wouldn't know that that actually makes me feel better. So did you do that? If you didn't, I'm going to challenge you again today. Write down, spend 24 hours writing down exactly what you do. Because to be honest, most of us don't remember what we had for breakfast, much less tomorrow are we going to remember what time we took our medications and what impact it had on our pain, what supplements we took, what time we took them, and what impact it had on our pain. The only way to really keep track of that is to document it and write it down. So, if you didn't do that, start today. Do it today. Now, today's topic is all about the present moment. Everything that we have the power to control or influence happens right now in this very moment. Unfortunately, our minds keep us, since our brain and our mind is working all the time, it's always feeding us information and data. So it has got us thinking about the past, reliving the past, or worrying about and concerned about the future. You know, oh, if I hadn't done this, maybe I never would have gotten injured. If I hadn't done this, maybe I wouldn't have gotten sick. And reliving old events ad nauseum that we have no ability to change or impact at this point in our life. Once the past is gone, it's gone. There's nothing we can do about it. The only thing we can do is change our interpretation of those events and of the past. The future, same way. No matter how much I want to worry about or fret over the future, there is nothing I can do. Okay, I'll take that back. There are things that we can do to set ourselves in place so that the future doesn't scare us or frighten us. But for the most part, worrying about the future, worrying about anything is of little or no value. It takes us out of proactive action mode and puts us into frozen, I'm not doing anything mode. And that does not help anything. So future's not guaranteed. I, for one, can attest to that. And I had a sudden cardiac arrest and died, and it's only a miracle that I'm sitting here talking to you today. But had I passed away, it wouldn't have mattered. None of this would have mattered. Nothing in my life before or after would have mattered because I wouldn't be around to experience it. The same is true for all of us. We are not given any guaranteed expiration date. We never know, and that's kind of the scary but exciting and exhilarating thing about life. We never know what tomorrow's going to bring. And so we should be living today to the best of our ability and to our absolute fullest, whatever we're capable of. And the only way, again, dogs, I've got whining dogs in the background and now barking dogs. I apologize. It just is what it is. It's part of my life, and I will say pets are one of the best things that can happen to you if you have chronic pain. Pets love us unconditionally, and therefore anything that loves us unconditionally is good for us and good for our pain, except the barking. Sometimes if I have a migraine, it really bothers me. And when I have dual whining and barking, it's really hard to talk about anything, much less killing my chronic pain. But we will just persist, because guess what? Sometimes they are just going to bark and they are going to whine, and I'm not going to scream at them or yell at them. I will attend to them when I'm done with this, but I'm not going to stop what I'm doing just because the dogs are barking at bunny rabbits or squirrels or whatever happens to be out there. Bean, come here. Choco, come here. They could come and give me some love. That would be awesome. Anyway, what was I talking about? Quieting your mind. Okay, the challenge today is to focus on the present moment. Be in the present moment. Be here right now with me and the barking dogs. Be with yourself wherever you are right now. It sounds so easy, but it is so freaking hard. I would say, I work on this. I try this. I try to be in the present moment, and I maybe spend 1% of my day in the present moment. I'm not good at it at all, but I will continue to practice because I know how important it is. I know it's critical for me to be in the present moment, especially when handling and dealing with my chronic pain, because the only time I can affect or do anything is right now. I have to do things right now to impact my pain in the future. I have to pay attention to what I'm doing right now because it will impact my pain in the future. I don't know if you've experienced this or not, but I know for me personally, if I consume a bunch of sugar and junk food and processed foods, then I'm going to be paying for it. Now, that might not be the same for you, but for me personally, whenever I overdo it on processed foods or sugar or too much dairy, for me, dairy and cheese and ice cream and stuff is bad. And that it totally goes, it causes inflammation in my body, so that makes everything hurt more. So my hips will hurt really bad, and whatever else. It might be different for you, but I know that if I do something like that right now, I'm going to pay for it later. And that's another reason it's important to stay in the now and focus on what's going on with you right now and the choices that you're making. We can only choose or decide or feel something in the present moment. Now, we can re-feel things by thinking about the past or worrying about the future, but are those things we really want to think about or feel? I would say no, because I think, and I know with 100% accuracy, and people can argue with me all they want, but the way we think and the way we feel absolutely positively shows up in our bodies and makes us hurt more. If I am having a super bad day emotionally, or if somebody has hurt my feelings, or I've been traumatized over something, or if I'm worried about something, I totally hurt more than the days that I am happy and chipper and feeling loved and going about my business and everything seems to be going like a well-oiled machine. Those days, I might hurt, but I don't hurt as much. It doesn't impact me as much as the days when something negative or bad is happening around me. You know, to me personally, going to the doctor, that makes me stress out and my pain hurt worse. Not exactly what I want when I go to the doctor. I want my pain to be less when I go to the doctor and to be always getting better. But that's an example of something that triggers me and makes me actually feel worse. Now, my pain, my physical pain might not be worse, but my emotional pain and my spiritual pain and my stress level definitely goes up. I mean, when I go to the cardiologist to get my blood pressure checked, my blood pressure is always up. I check my blood pressure pretty much every day at home, and my blood pressure is, high, but still pretty good. But when I go to the doctor, that baby spikes way up. Now, why is that? It's because I'm worried about the future, or I'm thinking about the past and the past experiences I've had with that particular medical area of my life. Anyway, quieting your mind, super duper hard. It's like asking me to not talk so much. So my daughter and my son-in-law asked me to be quiet in the morning because they're not morning people. But how do you do that? How the heck do I focus on the now and quiet my mind so I can know what is going on with me right now? Well, breathing from day one is a really good way. If we focus on our breathing, then we're concentrating on the now. If I'm counting my breaths and I'm really concentrating on counting them, I'm in that present moment. And then I can just take a quick assessment of, well, how am I feeling? What's really going on in my body? Not what's happened in the past, because I've had excruciating pain for 7 days in a row now, and I'm worried that it's never going to go away. That's the future. I'm concerned about the future, and will I be able to walk to the bathroom tomorrow? Will I be able to get up and drive and go out of the house tomorrow, or am I going to be stuck in this bed for another 3 weeks like I just was? That's not going to help me. I want to focus on and tap into the present moment. How am I feeling right this very instant as I'm sitting in this chair? And then take a quick assessment of what feels good. Instead of focusing on what hurts and what feels bad, I challenge you in the present moment to think about what feels good or fine or awesome. I seldom, if ever, have issues with my ears. My ears, they never hurt. So I think about them. My shins, and except for shin splints in high school, which is thinking about the past, my shins are always fine. They never hurt. Trying to think about something else that never hurts. That's pretty pathetic, isn't it? But so you only need one thing, because I guarantee there's one place in your body that never hurts. You know what? My left eyebrow never hurts. My right eyebrow pretty much never hurts either. So think about things in your body right this instant that feel good. So I can build on that. So, all right, my ears never hurt. My ears feel great. My ears feel awesome. Now I think about the energy of them feeling fantastic. And I take that energy in my mind and I send it to my hip. Because guess what? My left hip hurts. My left hip is giving me a hard time the last couple of days. And then today, this morning when I woke up, you get that little click where you can't really walk. I was having that. And I'm like, nope, not going to have that. So I think I get in the present moment by breathing or looking at and noticing. Another one of my favorite ways to get in the present moment is to really, really look at and notice things in my environment. And it doesn't have to be complicated things. I like to look at things in nature. I love walks in nature and actually really looking at what's going on around me. What are the clouds looking like? What are the trees? How about the flowers? How about the rocks? Sometimes I like to find beautiful rocks. I'm definitely a rock person. But it can be something as simple as this Burt's Bees lip gloss. Looking at it, focusing on it, really looking at the color, enjoying the smell of it, feeling what it feels like to put some of it on my lips, but really focusing in on the present moment of, why do I love Burt's Bees and this particular color is caramel color? Well, why do I love caramel color? Oh, I love that caramel color. I love the way it feels on my lips. I love the way it smells, that little minty fresh smell. I'm focusing on the present moment by noticing the details of things. That's another way. But when I'm doing that and when I'm focusing on what's right in my life, I attract more of that. I get more of what's right in my life. I get more of the things that don't hurt and aren't causing me pain in my life. And that's what this challenge is all about. So to summarize today's challenge, you are going to be in the present moment. I want you to practice being in the present moment. And at least 3 times today, just 3 times, stop whatever you're doing. And if you have to set an alarm on your phone, I have to set alarms on my phone for pretty much everything, to remind you to do this, just set an alarm that says stop on it, or pay attention, or present moment, or now. And then just whatever is going on with you right now at that moment, tap into it. Notice what feels great in my body right now. This is part of how I got over my migraines, was using this strategy. I would focus on the times that my head didn't hurt. And in the beginning, they were few and far between, but I would get instances and glimpses of my migraine subsiding. And I just built on those and made them bigger and bigger and bigger to help alleviate migraines. Now, for normal people, let's be honest, normal people will not understand this or get this. I pretty much always have a headache. My head always hurts. Even right now, today, my head hurts. My head always hurts, you guys. It always has. But what I've been able to do by using this strategy and all the other ones I'm showing you is I've been able to train my mind and my brain to just ignore some of the signals that it's getting, some of the pain signals. So the migraines in my head have diminished and diminished and diminished. And I suppose if you were to take a scan of my brain, I would still have a migraine or still have a headache, because I always have headaches. But I'm to the point of controlling them that I don't let them stop me. I am not going to let my head hurting and a migraine steal my life anymore. I'm not going to. And I'm inviting you to join me on the journey to figure out what works for you so that you don't let chronic pain steal away your life and your experiences anymore. So today, present moment. Get in the present moment 3 times and see how that impacts your pain. And while you're in that present moment, you know, it might take you to all 3 times today just to get in the present moment and focus on the now. And guess what? It's not going to be for a long time. I used to try to, and monks, Tibetan monks are somewhere in the world, I don't know where exactly. They spend years learning how to get in a meditative present moment state. And so it's not easy. It's probably one of the hardest challenges in this 30-day challenge. It's probably one of the hardest actual things to do, because everything in our subconscious and in our mind and in our brain and our biology and how it works together is against us staying in the present moment. It's all on autopilot, and it's time for us to take control of it and say, yep, you've been on autopilot long enough, and look how that's working out for me. It's given me a whole ton of chronic pain, and I'm done with it. So guess what? I am taking charge at least sometimes of my day and focusing on what feels awesome in my body, so that I can get more of it. So that's it. Tomorrow is a really, really fun technique and strategy. It's for our spirit, which we always like spirit things because they all work together. Again, mind, body, spirit, all working together, because we have to address our chronic pain as a whole human being, not just as our mind, not just as our spirit, and definitely not just as our body. Our body is just one small component of what's going on with our chronic pain. So go out, make it a pain-free day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.